So there are those around college football that would have you believe that this is a boring time of the year for the sport, and personally, I couldn't disagree more. We can look at recruiting and see that the class of 2024 is really starting to heat up. Furthermore, we can look all across the nation and see that with spring practices beginning, college football fans' biggest questions are about to start being answered. And finally, we can look at all these new coaching additions and start talking about what impact they could have. And on that last point, we need to turn our attention to the Oklahoma Sooners, because yesterday they made a coaching move that I found compelling, something we have got to break down. And of course, today we're talking about the Oklahoma Sooners hiring former UNT head coach Seth Littrell to be an offensive analyst, something we have got to talk about. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that Seth Littrell joins the Oklahoma staff? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable community, and if you enjoyed the content, like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And before we really start diving into Seth Littrell's coaching history, there's a point I love right off the bat. He's got a deep familiarity with Oklahoma Sooners football. Not only did he grow up in Oklahoma, he played for the Oklahoma Sooners, won a national championship for the Sooners, and oh yeah, by the way, the cherry on top, his father played for the Oklahoma Sooners and won a whole lot there as well. So this is an individual with a deep understanding of what Oklahoma Sooners winning culture looks like, and that's not something that's exactly escaped that building. I get it. The Sooners are coming off of a down year, but this is still a program that's been synonymous with winning culture. So it's great that you get another individual that has that understanding of what it looks like for Oklahoma in particular, and who can come and try and help. The other thing we talk about ad nauseum on this channel is that you just got a former head coach to come and join your staff as an analyst. I get it. He was released by UNT, but the fact of the matter is he was a head coach in college football for the University of North Texas. Some of you may know this. I actually have the UNT notebook right back there. I graduated from the University of North Texas right here in Denton, Texas. This is not a football school. I'll be the first to tell you. This is not an institution that when you think about UNT, you think about football, and it should be. It really is a shame. You talk about being right smack dab in the middle of fertile recruiting grounds. There is no better recruiting grounds to be in, but UNT really struggles. And this is not a Seth Littrell problem, like the University of North Texas would have you believe. This is a problem that I have noticed with UNT as long as I have lived in this area, so basically my whole life. Now, whenever we talk about Seth Littrell at UNT, we do need to understand that he had a 44-44 record. He had 44 wins, he had 44 losses, but when he took over this program, they were 1-11, and he really did a lot to turn this program around. Yet when UNT fired him, a lot of people around college football, including myself, were really surprised, and I think the news actually came down when we were doing a live, and myself, PG, Drew, and Jay, we reacted to it. All of us were shocked. We couldn't believe that the University of North Texas would let go of Seth Littrell because he had done a lot for that program. He had taken that program that was nothing, turned it into an actual winning program. They were able to generate some consistency. He was in 2 Conference USA championship games, and he took them to multiple bowl appearances. So, for Seth Littrell going back to Oklahoma as an offensive analyst, I think you have to love this because you get to work with the offense and it's very low pressure. That's a great situation to be in. For the Oklahoma Sooners, you get a former head coach that's going to come in there and just help you formulate. That is an absolute win. And what I love more is when we start diving into Seth Littrell's coaching history. Because from 2002 to 2004, he was a GA at Kansas. But from 05 to 08 is when this really starts getting compelling. He was a running back coach at Texas Tech under Mike Leach. And I think I've talked about this before. Y'all know this. You're getting a guy that's an offensive coach who's worked with Mike Leach. That says something. People go out and try and find coaches under the Mike Leach tree for a reason, and you just got one as an offensive analyst that, oh yeah, by the way, has been an offensive coordinator at several institutions and has been a head coach in college football. This is a really solid hire. Furthermore, we can look at 2009, where he was the running back and tight end coach for Arizona. If you are not new to the channel, you've heard me talk about this time and time again. You want to generate easy offense in 2023? Great running back play, great tight end play. Don't believe me? Look at the Georgia Bulldogs. Look at how they were able to keep that offense so balanced, and it made it so hard for defenses to attack. You want to take away the tight ends? Cool. We got running backs and wide receivers. You want to take away the rushing game? We can get a quasi-rushing game going with the tight ends. and now we're just going to hit you over the head. So there's a lot you can do. And so whenever I look at this, and Seth Littrell has an understanding of the running back position and the tight end position, I think that's compelling. In 2010, he remained with Arizona through 2010 and 2011. However, in 2010, he was co-offensive coordinator, running back coach, and tight end coach. And in 2011, he was full-time offensive coordinator, running back coach, and tight ends coach for Arizona. In 2012 and 2013, he was the Indiana offensive coordinator, fullback coach, and tight end coach. And in 2014 through 2015, he was North Carolina's assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and tight end coach before, in 2016 to 2022, being named the head coach of the University of North Texas, which we've already talked about. So when you look at this, there's a lot you have to like here. This is a guy that has familiarity with the running back position. He's got familiarity with offensive football, and he's got familiarity with the tight end. And oh yeah, by the way, he learned under Mike Leach. I think this is compelling, and especially when we look at the Oklahoma Sooners, and we've talked about this offense before. The Oklahoma Sooners are going to have to replace some wide receiver production, both in terms of reception and in terms of flat-out production. Now, I like what they have, but I really like what they have at the running back position. I think Austin Stogner coming back is a really compelling addition, and now you get an offensive analyst that has this type of history. You've got to love it. And another thing I love about this, and this will probably be the last point we make before we start winding down, Jeff Lebby got a lot of attention this offseason. Now, he remained with the Oklahoma Sooners because he, like Littrell, has history with the Oklahoma Sooners. But Jeff Lebby is a young guy. He is a young up-and-coming coach in the college football industry. How much longer is he going to be there? Well, if they continue moving in the direction so many people, including myself, think they will be, Lebby may be getting big opportunities here soon. You just got in the door very early with another guy that has ties to Oklahoma that's worked as an offensive coordinator under multiple institutions and has been a head coach in Seth Littrell. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I sitting here saying, Oklahoma fans, that Jeff Lebby is about to leave. I don't. That's not my contention. My contention here is that you have got to be cognizant that your offensive coordinator garnered a ton of attention this offseason. There were a lot of suitors. So you have got to believe that if everything continues in a positive direction, there will be more suitors once the results look better. At that point, you have got to start formulating a plan. And I think this is a great plan Brent Venables has formulated, and I can't wait to see how it affects the Oklahoma Sooners through the offseason and into the season. But I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.